So, for the past few days, sa mga recent videos ko, no, na-mention ko a couple of times yung term na PSEI rebalancing. And naisip ko na since I will most likely talk about PSEI rebalancing pagdating sa stock chart analysis videos and sa 24K to 1M and sa other videos pa, so naisip ko na baka some of my subscribers, no, lalo na yung mga novice or beginner traders, wala pa masyadong knowledge pagdating sa PSEI rebalancing. So, pagdating kasi sa mga intermediate and advanced traders, no, for sure, alam nyo na what PSEI rebalancing is. And mahirap kasi maintindihan yung mga sasabihin ko sa mga succeeding videos, no, if you don't have the prior knowledge or understanding of what the PSEI rebalancing is. So, I decided to make this video and talk about it na mas comprehensive, no. So, simulan na natin. So, PSEI rebalancing, no, two words, PSEI tapos rebalancing. So, pag-uusapan muna natin kung ano specifically yung PSEI. So, what exactly is the PSEI? It's very hard to talk about the PSEI agad nang hindi pa sinisimulan at ini-explain kung ano ba yung PSE. So, the PSE or the Philippine Stock Exchange is basically the Philippine stock market, no? And the Philippine Stock Exchange as the corporation is in charge of just about everything when it comes to the Philippine stock market. So, sila yung in charge sa paggawa ng mga regulations, no? Paggawa ng mga deals, pag-accept ng mga bagong corporations na gustong pumasok sa Philippine stock market. Sila din yung nagde-decide kung sino yung hindi deserving na maging part ng stock market at tatanggalin nila. Sila yung nagbibigay ng penalties, sila yung nag-enforce ng mga rules, at sobrang dami pang iba nilang ginagawa, no? So, ultimately, the Corporation of the Philippine Stock Exchange is the governing body of the Philippine stock market. And alam naman nating lahat na pagdating sa Philippine stock market, it's all about profits, losses, diba? And lahat naman yun nagre-revolve around sa pera. And of course, when we're talking about money, we're talking about investments, we're talking about business, sobrang importante na alam natin yung performance ng isang company, ng isang corporation, or grupo ng mga companies. So that thought, no, yung premise na yun is kailangan din natin, of course, ma-apply sa stock market natin mismo. So the PSE, no, wants the investors to know kung ano yung nagiging performance ng stock market natin. And vice versa din, syempre, gusto ng mga investors malaman kung ano yung performance ng stock market para ma-entice sila, no, na magdagdag ng funds na mag-invest sa stock market natin. Kasi syempre, kung hindi nila alam yung overall performance ng market, diba, ba't sila maglalagay ng pera, diba? So, basic logic lang yun. So, in order to solve this problem, para malaman natin yung performance or ma-measure natin yung performance ng Philippine stock market, the PSE, no, decided to create an index. So, that's why it's called PSEI, because it's the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. So, the main purpose, no, of the PSEI is to measure the performance of the Philippine stock market. And they are able to do this by choosing the 30 largest and most active na common stocks sa stock market natin, no, dito sa Pilipinas. So, bakit 30? I'm not really sure. How did they come up sa number na yan? Kasi sa ibang mga countries, diba, hindi naman yan 30 lagi, diba? Kunwari sa US, diba, S&P 500. Sa ibang countries, 100 lang. So, I'm not gonna delve into the reason kung bakit 30. But, ayun lang yung sinasabi nila sa atin na 30 yung pinagpipilian nila. So, ang ginawa ng Philippine Stock Exchange, no, pumipili sila ng 30 na pinakamalalaki na companies or corporations na nasa stock exchange natin, no, yung mga malalaki at yung madalas tinitrade, that's why most active. And these 30 stocks provides the snapshot or the average performance ng market as a whole. Kasi hindi naman natin pwedeng isama, no, lahat, as in lahat ng shares ng Philippine stock market, kasi hindi lang naman siya puro common stocks yung andun, kasi meron din tayong mga preferred shares, meron din tayong mga warrants, diba? Merong mga stocks na inactive na, merong mga stocks na suspended, merong mga stocks na hindi profitable, diba? May mga stocks na hindi masyadong tinitrade. So, to create somehow a good basis, no, for the performance of the market, syempre, pipiliin natin yung mga magagaling at magagandang company lang talaga. So, ayun yung main thought doon. So, that's why my criteria. And sa ngayon, the PSE have decided na itong mga stock codes na nakikita nyo dito, yung top 30 na yun. So, I'm sure some of these names are familiar to you, no? So, andyan yung BPI, BDO, P-Gold or Pure Gold, JFC, no, Jollibee Foods Corporation, Converge. So, kahit baguhan pa lang kayo or novice pa lang kayo sa market, I'm sure you know that these companies are some of the biggest corporations, no, dito sa Pilipinas. No, kahit saang city, kahit saang municipality, laging may Jollibee, laging may BPI or BDO dyan, diba? So, ayun yung sinasabi natin na yung mga largest, mga most active companies yung napupunta dito sa list na to. So, itong PSEI, ito na yung madalas nyong nakikita na napapag-usapan ko sa stock chart analysis videos before I talk about the 10 stocks, no? Yung pinakaunang chart na pinag-uusapan ko. And ito yon, yung chart na yon. So, that's the Philippine Stock Exchange Index. So, ibig sabihin, yung PSEI is composed of the 30 stocks, no? Yung 30 names na pinakita ko sa inyo. Pag pinagsama-sama silang lahat, ito yung magiging chart nila, no? So, ayan yung PSEI. So, ibig sabihin lang nun, halimbawa, from April towards the second week of May, pataas yung PSEI. So, pwede tayong magbigay ng assumption na during this time, karamihan sa 30 stocks na yon pataas. 'Di ba? Kasi kung yung 30 stocks na yon lahat sila pababa, then hindi pwedeng pataas yung PSEI. Kasi nga, yung PSEI is composed of those 30 stocks, 'di ba? So, inversely, around the month of January, nung first week, up to the end of January, pababa yung PSEI. So, pwede nating i-assume na for the whole month of January, most of the 30 stocks na pinakita ko kanina is pababa. So, punta tayo sa isang stock na part ng index. So, na-mention ko kanina yung BDO. So, tingnan natin, no? Whole month of January. So, BDO, ito yung first week ng January, and then papunta sa end ng January, and dito yung price. So, pababa. Isa pang stock na na-mention ko, which is Jollibee or JFC. So, JFC chart. So, this is the first week of January. And then, ito yung end ng January. So, January 31 and pababa din yung galaw niya. So, ayun. Yun yung sinasabi ko na depende sa galaw ng PSEI, makaka-assume tayo, no? Or makakaasa tayo na those stocks, pababa. Pero, I'm saying na assumption lang natin yon or nag-assume tayo kasi hindi naman lagi na pagpababa yung market, talagang 30 sila na pababa. Pwedeng may mga ibang stocks na pataas pa rin. Pero, since mas marami yung mga stocks na pababa, so of course, may selling pressure tayong makukuha sa PSEI. And ganun din, kapag ang market is consolidation or in sideways, that means most of the stocks in the PSEI, yung 30 na yon, patagilid din yung galaw niya. Or some, pwedeng may down move pero hindi sobrang lakas. Kaya consolidating lang. Pwede ding halos pantay, no? Some of the stocks pataas, some of the stocks pababa. Kaya ang nangyari, nagiging equal. So, nagiging sideways yung move nila. So, that's the PSEI. So, ngayon naman, since we've already discussed the PSEI, ano naman ngayon yung second word natin, no? Yung rebalancing. So, what exactly is rebalancing? So, sabi ko kanina, the PSEI is composed of the 30 largest and most active common stocks, no? So, largest and most active. And sa pag-record ko ng video na to, so that's July 30, ito yung current na composition ng ating PSEI. So, this means ito yung 30 largest and most active na stocks sa Philippine stock market. So, the question is, what happens when a particular company or corporation or stock is nagkaroon ng negative sentiment sa kanila, no? Nagkaroon ng pangit na earnings, nagkaroon ng regulation na naka-affect sa profitability nila or sa future growth ng company, or meron silang mga partnerships na hindi naging maganda yung galaw, mga deals na hindi natuloy. Of course, lahat yun pwedeng mag-affect sa overall price and movement ng stock na yun, di ba? So, halimbawa, Jollibee Foods Corporation, no? Paano kung dumating yung time na wala nang masyadong kakain sa Jollibee? Kasi in the future naman, di ba, pwedeng mag-change yung preference ng food ng mga tao. So, may risk na malugi yung Jollibee. So, kung malugi sila at magsarado yung mga branches, magdi-decrease yung profitability, of course, malulugi, di-decrease yung income. So, most likely, by that time, pwedeng hindi na siya ganun kalaki. So, hindi niya na nami-meet yung first criteria na dapat isa siya sa mga largest companies, no, sa Philippine stock market. Tapos, by that time, pwedeng iniiwasan na rin siya ng mga traders or ng mga investors kasi palugi nga. So, hindi na naman niya nami-meet yung second criteria, which is dapat most active siya, 'di ba? So pag nangyari 'yon, dapat tatanggalin yung JFC. kasi hindi niya nire-represent no na yung stock or yung corporation na maganda yung galaw and maganda yung stock. So that's where the rebalancing comes in. Kaya siya rebalance no kasi tinatanggal yung mga ibang stocks at pinapalitan. So from the Philippine Stock Exchange no policy on index management. So nakalagay dito na yung PSE no to ensure that the indices are representative of the market by including and or excluding those companies which have risen or fallen significantly. So, ini-include yung mga company na tumaas na yung price or yung criteria gumanda and ini-exclude or tinatanggal yung mga stocks na bumaba ng significant level, no? So, hindi nila na-meet yung criteria. So, that's the PSEI rebalancing. So, here are the 30 stocks na currently part ng PSEI. And sa ngayon, usap-usapan na Bloom yung nagiging weakest link, no, among the index stocks. So, out of 30, siya yung kulelat. So, punta tayo sa chart. So, this is the chart of Bloom. And kung titingnan natin, no, yung galaw ng stock from January of last year pa. So, 2024. So, from January 2024 up to 2025, no, na January. So, makikita natin na talagang nag-drop yung stock. And ang drop nun is around 60%, diba? So, dun pa lang, pwede na nating masabi na since lagpas kalahati yung bumawas sa value niya, pwedeng hindi na siya isa sa mga largest stocks sa Philippine stock market. Although, isa siya sa mga active stocks, no, gawa ng nangyaring news, positive man or negative, with regard sa sentiment pagdating sa online gambling, no? Hindi pa rin enough, no? Sinasabi nila na hindi pa rin enough yung ganong type ng trading value kung yung market capitalization nila is mababa, no? So, pwede silang matanggal sa composition na 30 ng PSEI kasi sobrang bumaba talaga yung market price nila at nag-decrease yung market capitalization or overall value ng company. So, the question is, kung tatanggalin yung Bloom at magkakaroon ng rebalancing, so ano yung ipapalit? Kasi 29 na lang sila. So, according to Inquirer, so this is an article last week, no? It's a toss-up daw between Plus and RCR. So, bakit? So, andito tayo sa chart ng Plus. And kung titingnan ulit natin yung same scenario, so around January, and ipa-plot natin yung naging price niya by January 25, so makikita natin na lagpas 200%, no? So nearly 250% yung in-increase na price ng Plus. And if we're going to consider yung first half ng 2025, no, bukod doon, nag-increase pa siya ng 127%. So, clearly, mas malaki yung market capitalization niya sa Bloom. So, last time na na-check ko, halos times 3, no? Yung laki ng Plus sa Bloom. So, ibig sabihin, kung usapang pagiging mas malaki lang, so lamang yung Plus. And very active din siya and natitrade din talaga itong stock na to. But the issue is, ayun nga, no, bumaba din siya ng sobra for the second half of June and sobrang naging volatile niya nung July. So, tingnan naman natin yung RCR. So, sa RCR naman, so, ganun din, first week din ng January up to 2025. So, nag-increase siya ng 20%. And year to date, from January up to this month, so 30%. So, hindi ganun kalaki yung tinaas ng RCR, pero hindi na rin siya bumaba. And sa ngayon, although mas malaki yung market capitalization ng Plus, lamang lang naman yung Plus ng mga a few billions, no? Tens of billions lang naman yung lamang niya. And mas stable yung RCR. So, hindi natin masasabi sa ngayon kung alin ba talaga yung makakapasok at magiging replacement for Bloom. So, hindi natin sigurado yon kung Plus ba yun o RCR. Ang makakapag-decide lang yan, of course, is the governing body, which is the PSE. Gaya nga ng sabi nila, no, sa Policy on Index Management, the rules for additions and removals during the semi-annual review are designed to provide stability in the selection of constituents of the PSE indices. So, papasok sila syempre ng bagong ipampapalit or kapag nag-rebalance sila, so kailangan stable, 'di ba? Yung stock na yun or yung company na yun. So that's why sinasabi nga ng Inquirer na it's a toss-up nga daw ba between Plus and RCR. Kasi yung isa mas stable, which is RCR, and yung Plus hindi ganun ka-stable, sobrang volatile gawa ng usapan sa online gambling, no? So mukhang may dilemma ngayon yung PSE. Because kung susundin lang nila yung criteria nila most likely plus ang papasok, pero baka gumawa sila ng special consideration because of the issues and the volatility involved with plus. So the question now is, why is it important to know about the PSEI rebalancing? Kasi baka tanungin nyo ako, diba, Jess, ano naman yung pakialam ko kung lalabas yung Bloom sa PSEI at may papasok silang iba? Ano yung effect nun? Ano yung significance nun sa akin as a trader or as an investor? So the answer is because rebalancing affects buying and selling pressure of different stocks, no? Hindi lang yung mga stocks na pinag-uusapan natin. So hindi lang Bloom, hindi lang RCR or Plus, kung sino man ang makapasok sa kanila yung affected, no? Hindi lang sila yung magkakaroon ng galaw. And the reason for that is because of mutual funds and UITFs. So do you know what mutual funds or UITFs are? If ever man, no, na nakakuha ka ng mga flyers, yung mga maliliit na papel na nakikita mong mga nakadisplay sa bangko or nakikita mo sa app sa phone kapag nagbubukas ka ng online banking, kung tumitingin ka man ng GCash, kung meron ka man mga investment sa mga insurance companies, no, like Sun Life, AXA, or PruLife, or whatever. Ito yung mga funds na kung saan magbibigay ka ng pera, tapos yung binigay mong pera na yon is isasama, no, sa mga ibang investors din na nagbigay din ng pera sa company na yon at iipunin nila yon, tapos sila yung mag-i-invest on your behalf. So sila magde-decide kung saan nila ilalagay yung naipon nilang pera. And there is a type of mutual fund or UITF wherein tinatawag natin siya na index fund. So ano ba yung index fund? So puntahan natin ang isang example nito. So here's an investment disclosure statement, no, from BPI. So it's called the Philippine Equity Index Fund. So ang daming nakasulat dyan pero focus lang tayo dito. So ano ba yung investment objective and strategy ng BPI Philippine Equity Index Fund? So basically, pinagsama-sama nila yung mga pera ng iba't ibang tao, ng iba't ibang company din, and sila ang nagmamanage nun, no? So nakalagay dito, the fund intends to achieve investment returns that track the performance of the Philippine Stock Exchange Index total return. So they do this by investing in a diversified portfolio of stocks comprising the PSEI in the same weights as the index to the extent practicable. So the fund aims to provide a return that tracks the performance of the PSEI. So ang laging sinasabi dyan, track, performance, PSEI, same. So ibig sabihin, if you decide to put your money into an index fund, no, example itong BPI, ang gagawin nila, ang bibilhin lang nila is yung mga stocks na part ng PSEI. So, ibig sabihin, hindi sila bibili ng kung anong stocks na tumataas dyan, kung ano yung stocks na bumababa, kung ano yung stocks na overbought, oversold. Wala silang pakialam sa stocks na yon. Ang focus lang nila kung ano yung stocks na part ng index. So, ibig sabihin, yung 30 na sasabihin ng PSE. And if you're going to look at this specific information, nakalagay total fund, no, in millions. So, nakalagay 52,811. So, that means that's 52 billion and 800 million pesos. So, ibig sabihin, yung hawak nilang 52 billion, no, nearly 53 billion, i-divide nila yon kung paano nila gusto na nasusunod nila yung weight ng index. So, ibig sabihin, yung 53 billion, i-divide nila yon in certain percentages dun sa 30 stocks lang na yon. So, that's an index fund. So, halimbawa, dito sa 30 stocks na to, most likely yung BPI Index Fund, meron silang hawak niyan. And kung maaalis yung Bloom sa 30 na yan or sa PSEI, then these fund managers, no, are required to sell yung position nila sa Bloom. Dahil pag naalis na nila yung position nila sa Bloom at pumalit man, for example, RCR or Plus, they are required to buy yung RCR and Plus. So sabi natin kanina, the fund is nearly 53 billion. So kung iisipin mo, pag pumasok yung RCR tapos Plus, and let's say they decide, no, to invest up to just 1% of their fund. So ano ba yung 1% ng 52.8, no? Nearly 53 billion. So that's around 520 plus million pesos, no? So nearly 530 million. So that means kung ano man yung mapasok sa index, it's a possibility na may papasok na 500 million doon kung mag-decide sila na 1%. So kung 0.5% ng fund, then that means 250 million plus, di ba? Or 260. So, ang pwede din nilang gawin is bawasin nila ng paunti-unti yung mga holdings nila sa ibang stocks gaya ng BPI, DMC, Glow, GT Cap. Tapos yun yung pwedeng idagdag pa nila sa magiging holdings nila sa pang 30 na papasok, 'di ba? So ayun yung sinasabi ko na not only does it affect directly yung mga stocks na involved na tatanggalin at ipapalit, pwedeng maka-affect din siya sa mga ibang stocks na part ng PSEI dahil pwedeng bawasan yung mga shares nila doon. So magkakos ng unnecessary selling pressure yun. And if that happens, pag bumaba yung PSEI, ma-affect niya yung mga stocks na kahit hindi part ng index kasi nakikita ng ibang traders or investors na uy, pababa yung PSEI. Baka magbenta na ako dito sa hawa ko na MWC or SPNEC or kung ano pang mga stocks yan kasi yung market pababa. So, I'm not saying na mangyayari yun. Sinasabi ko lang yun as an example na pwedeng maging sentiment-driven yung sell-off sa mga ibang stocks kahit wala naman talagang problema sa kanila mismo. So, ito yung isang example na nangyari nitong taon lang. So, may lumabas na news from the PSEI website. So, sabi dito, the PSEI refresh adds 2 new members. So, that's your A-REIT, So, that's the REIT stock of Ayala and CBC, which is, alam naman natin na China Bank yan. So, nakalagay dito, yung date is Friday, January 24, 2025. And all the changes in the indices will be effected on February 3. So, ibig sabihin, February 3 nila planong ipasok, yung A-REIT saka CBC sa index. So, puntahan natin yung chart ng A-REIT. Tandaan nyo lang yung February 3. So, andito tayo sa chart ng A-REIT and ito yung 2025. So, this is February. So, anong napapansin nyo sa candle ng before February 3? So, this is February 3. So, the previous candle is January 31, So, that means yung January 31 is a Friday and Saturday, Sunday is Feb 1 and 2. So, naging Monday yung Feb 3, That's why may skip ng days because weekend walang trading. So, ano yung nangyari? Na-announce yun January 24 and the last trading day for that week is January 31. So, ano yung nangyari? Nung pinasok yung A-REIT sa PSEI by February 3, January 31, bumulusok siya pataas. So, from a price of closing ng 39, nag-increase siya ng 7% and kung mapapansin nyo, sobrang laki ng volume na yun. Sa buong chart na to from September to July, ayun yung biggest volume niya, So, yun yung inclusion niya sa index. So, tingnan naman natin sa China Bank. So, dito sa China Bank, ito yung February 3 na candle. Ano yung nakikita natin sa January 31? Yun din ulit, yung pinakamalaki niyang volume. Tapos, yung price niya nung Thursday, so January 30, is 66.95. Tapos, nag-increase siya ng 38% nung Friday. So, ang nangyari, nagkaroon ng grabing buying pressure kasi since na-announce na included na siya sa index, so tumaas yung price niya. So, ayun yung sinasabi ko, na the PSEI affects the buying or selling pressure of stocks. So, hindi ko sinasabi na pag in-include sa PSEI, mag-increase ng 38%, mag-increase agad ng 7%, So, sample lang to kasi ito yung pinaka-recent na nangyari. So, ang tanong, nung pinasok yung A-REIT and CBC, so that's 2 stocks. So, ibig sabihin, meron tayong dalawang tinanggal. Kasi hindi naman pwedeng maging 32 kasi 30 nga lang. So, ang tinanggal nila is Nickel Asia and Wilcon. So, tingnan natin kung ano yung nangyari sa stock price ng mga companies na to. So, andito tayo sa chart ng nickel and wala pa akong tinuturo at kahit hindi nyo tingnan yung date, mukhang gets nyo na kung saan nangyari yung price movement because of the PSEI rebalancing, So, buong duration na to, ito agad yung makikita nyo. January 31, ang lakas nung volume and ang lakas nung selling. And kahit actually January 30 pa lang, pababa na yung stock. So, from a price of 3.02, nag-drop yung price ng almost 28% by January 31 because of the news na hindi nakasama yung nickel sa PSEI, So, ano pa yung isa? Wilcon. So, Wilcon, alam nyo na din kung saan nagkaroon ng price interaction because of the rebalancing. So, ito yung volume, January 31. Tapos, ito yung supposed part ng index na pagtanggal niya, So, kung mapapansin nyo, January 24 in-announce. After nung January 24, bumaba yung price ng almost 13%. So, for the whole trading week, bumaba ng 13% yung Wilcon. Tapos, after nun, pababa pa rin siya. So, again, caveat lang, itong mga pinakita kong chart is just the recent example, Hindi ibig sabihin na meron tayong tinanggal sa PSEI, automatic magdadrop siya ng 30%, magdadrop ng 13%, These are just the recent example. So, paano ko nasabi yun? Kasi halimbawa, merong mga funds, na meron silang 100M worth of shares sa isang stock. So, nabigay yung news na tatanggalin yung stock na yun sa PSEI. So, may lalabas na 100 million. Paano kung merong fund na hindi naman index fund, no? Pwedeng fund ng trading fund ng ibang companies, no, na hindi lang BPI. Tapos ang gusto nilang bilhin na share is 200 million worth, no, kasi wala silang pakialam kung natanggal yung stock na yun sa index, no, nakikitaan nila ng good fundamental play or may nakikita silang setup. So ibig sabihin kung may lalabas na 100M tapos may papasok na 200 million, so merong difference, no, na positive 100M. So ibig sabihin pwedeng tumaas yung stock. And inversely, no, kung merong stock na papasok, so required bilhin ng mga fund managers na gumagawa ng index fund na bumili ng let's say 100M worth of shares. So, buying yon, 'di ba, on the buying side. Merong isang fund, 'di ba, na wala siyang pakialam kung itong stock na to ipapasok sa PSEI, gusto niyang magbenta. Kung ang gusto niyang ibenta worth 200 million, so may nagbebenta ng 200 million, merong bibili ng 100M, so may negative na 100M, may gustong lumabas na 100M. So, kahit pinasok yung stock sa PSEI, bababa pa rin, 'di ba? So, hindi mo masasabi, no, 100% certain na ang isang stock is lalabas ng PSEI, automatic bababa. And hindi mo rin masasabi na pag ang isang stock papasok ng PSEI tataas, no? Kasi nga it's still a fight between the buyers and sellers. So hindi naman natin control 'yon. It's just that mas mataas yung probability na pagpalabas ng PSEI bababa and pagpapasok ng PSEI mas tataas. Again, kaya nang lagi kong sinasabi, it's just probabilities, no, pagdating sa stock market. So what's next, no? When is the next rebalancing schedule ng PSEI? So just like what I said earlier, no, mukhang mapapag-usapan itong topic na to in the coming days or the coming weeks. Kaya I decided to talk about this topic because according to the policy, no, index management of PSEI, the rebalancing happens ng February and August, no. So it's July 30, so that means within 2 weeks magkakaroon ng rebalancing and most likely i-announce na nila yon. So ayun lang, that ends this comprehensive video regarding PSEI rebalancing and I hope you learned a lot. So kung matagal ka ng subscriber, no, so thank you always for watching the videos on this channel, and kung hindi ka pa nakasubscribe, you can just like this video and click the subscribe button. So thank you for watching this video.